Have you ever nicked your ball sack? Ow! Manscaped's Lawnmower 2.0 was specifically designed to make manscaping easy. I'm talking butt, balls, body. Featuring skin-safe technology, this trimmer won't nick or snag your nuts. 100% waterproof and shock-resistant. Head over to manscaped.com and get yourself the Lawnmower 2.0. And for a limited time, get free shipping and a free Shed travel bag.
The guy that I think we want to see a lot of coming out of the gates this season is Brad Stevens. He did not have a good year last year, and you can say it was Kyrie's fault, and that he was given a poorly constructed team by Danny Ainge, and he didn't do enough to fix that. But at the head of the list in terms of guys who, let's be honest, failed last year, and Brad Stevens has acknowledged this, was Brad Stevens in terms of having the most talented team that he's ever had at any level in basketball and dramatically underachieving. Again, I'm not putting it all on him in terms of saying, fault, but in terms of a guy who you would, if you graded out his season last year, you would have to give Brad Stevens a C- maybe, or a D even, in terms of what he was able to produce given the expectations. So, he's a guy that now he has more of a Brad Stevens type team, right? He's got Kemba Walker, a guy who's a team first guy, a guy who's, not going to want to make it all about him. He's got young guys that he's groomed over the last couple of years, that he's developed over the last couple of years himself. He has Marcus Smart, who is his first number one draft pick. Remember, Brad Stevens was hired after the Kelly Olynyk pick. Marcus Smart was the first guy that he had a chance to pick. These are all his guys with his personality, and you go back to a little bit of the Butler, the little engine that could team. You go back a little bit to the, Isaiah Thomas team that, made the Eastern Conference Finals before Isaiah's injury kind of overtook him. You go back to the team that got to Game 7 without Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward. I didn't even mention Gordon Hayward. Obviously, it's the number one Brad Stevens product in the whole situation is Gordon Hayward. So I think what Brad Stevens can do with his team back is going to be one of the more interesting things to start the season, because we know the talent that Kemba Walker has. He was third-team All-NBA in Charlotte, so he's the 20-point-a-game guy. He's an all-star. Jason Tatum should be on the verge of being an all-star within the next couple of years. Jaylen Brown has all-star potential. Gordon Hayward, it's still going to be determined a little bit how he comes back from that injury and whether he is really ever the Team USA player that he was pre-broken ankle, catastrophic injury. But how Brad Stevens is able to, regain the locker room and pull some of those switches or flip some of those switches to turn this team, which is not the most talented team in the NBA, not the most talented team in the Eastern Conference, into an Eastern Conference contender, I think is one of the most fascinating aspects of this upcoming year.
Well, you're absolutely right.